Yeah, no. My phone is being retarded. It it keeps freezing on me and stuff for some reason. Like the last 2 days, and so my finger accidentally. I fixed it. Don't worry, I fixed it. Yeah, CCK. So this is what I've been trying to tell people, and I mean it's gonna take a little bit for people to come on because this is like one of those lives where I just decide, oh, I'm gonna go live because someone was found. Um, and I'm actually on the way to my mom's right now because I didn't um I didn't go on Sunday, so I'm going today. So I'm kind of like parked to do this because it's my mind is just going crazy. So Jalissa's been found um off an embankment, cliff, whatever you want to call it, basically down a hill. Um I tried to talk to the cousin. I won't say any names. I told her she was in an accident and to go look for her off the side of the road. And she kept giving me excuses why they couldn't go look. And then she said, well, the family thinks that she's been abducted and they're hiding her car. Blah. And I was like, okay, I don't know what to say. So I have been saying this whole time that it was an accident. And the reason why it was far down, and that's the thing, as I told them, it couldn't be seen on the road. If you guys go back to my reading, I drew a picture. I said that the tree stopped her car from going in the river, which means that she was at the bottom. The river runs all through there, so obviously she was very close to the river area if she was at the bottom, because I kept saying she's at the bottom, meaning the trees are stopping her from going in the river. I drew the picture, I put it out there, people kept asking me to work it. I said, dude, she's been in an accident, she's up by where she went missing from. Now the P came in and it could have been Pine Flat, like we said. um it's it frustrates me so bad because yes, I'm just a psychic medium. Not everybody's going to listen to me. Okay, I am not going to be right 100% of the time. But the reason why I really felt that it was Jolissa in an accident was because of I know how my interconnects work. I've been doing this 10 years. I understand now. For the past about 5 years, we understand kind of how my interconnects work, and we're always learning and growing, and yes, all of that. But when I got the 3 accidents, I got them bam, 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 but they were all different visions. So it was Kylie's accident in the water. Then I started getting the Reno couple's accident down an embankment into trees. The interconnect was Jolissa. It all happened at the same time. They were all missing with their cars. I felt like Jolissa was in the accident because the other vision that wouldn't go away after the other 2 were found was her car in trees before it hit the river. Um, so when I was talking to the cousin, it repeated and repeated and repeated. I even sent her a picture and I said, look, there's water, there's either, and I said this in my video, so I don't know if it's a pond or a lake, because sometimes ponds are bigger and they look like lakes, and sometimes lakes are smaller and look like ponds. I said, whatever it is, there's, you know, like if you flipped my picture around, it's the right way. I said that there was a pond to the left of her, or a lake, whatever it was a body of water, and then she was in the trees, just before. And I told her, I said, you can't see her from the road. The helicopters aren't going to spot her. It's not going to be like that because you literally cannot see her. She's literally at the bottom by where the river is. So the only reason I come on here is I try to validate things, because if people I mean, I'm not going to be right all the time. Okay, I understand that. But I feel like if they would have listened instead of focusing on a kidnapping like they did with Kylie, they focused on a kidnapping. Or, because I have screenshots from the cousin, and I went and I took them so that I have them in case anybody asks me any questions. I was trying to get her to go look. And this is not to say anything bad about them. I understand people have lives. But she kept coming up with excuses to not go check things out. And Pine Flat was actually mentioned in those text messages. I just went back over them, because I said, well, the P could be Pine Flat, right? I actually quit going on the map because I wasn't being listened to. I didn't see the point in, because I probably could have come up with a better location and figured out, what lake it was, more of where she was. but nobody was listening to me. So why am I gonna spend hours and time and energy on something when it's like hitting my head against the wall, which is basically what it felt like, because I felt like I was hitting my head against the damn wall because I could not get anybody to listen to me on this situation. And it was like, same thing kind of with Kylie and everybody not thinking it's an accident. Now there's a video, which we'll be putting a video out kind of showing that. So I kept telling, someone just asked me to work Jolissa again, and I told them in the live, I said, look, I will probably pick it up again, but you need to go back and listen to the reading that I did. It's an accident. She's been in an accident. There's only so much I can do. The reason why I didn't work on it anymore is because she's in an accident. She's up where she went missing from, and that was it. That was it. So hi, Yin's life. But unfortunately, if no one's gonna listen to you, then it's one of those things where it's like there's only so much you can do, right? And I can't remember. I have to go back over and see if I actually said she was gonna be found, because I think I said that with Kylie, but I can't remember if I said that with her. But it looks like there's a curve actually where it happened, from what I'm being shown, but from what somebody just sent me, is that there's actually a curve, which I kept getting a curve. I think she had been drinking. I think she had been smoking. I think she was ticked off because she was pissed off. She had to leave the party. And I think she was driving too fast. And I think she literally hit a corner too fast and went off the curve. This might be where my deer comes in, but I'm not sure. Like, I'm not really sure where that fits. And we'll probably never know if a deer came out in front of her. But it's possible because it interconnected Kylie. I tell you guys with my interconnects, it has to do with timings and similarities and things like that. All of these accidents happened at the same time. And I was getting 3 different visions at the same time. So all week, it was vision after vision after vision. First it was Kylie, then it was Reno. Then when we figured out where Reno went, then Reno couple stopped. Then when we figured out where Kylie, then when I knew like Kylie was going to be found, that kind of went away. But this one kept going. And it was a repetitive vision that came only when I talked to her cousin. And when I quit working the case, when I was like, okay, this is it. This is where Jolissa is. This is what happened. And if no one's going to listen, oh well, I did my part, right? And I put it out. And then the vision stopped. So at that point, I knew it was Jolissa. And I had said, even when someone was asking me Lorca, I was like, she was in an accident, dude. She was in an accident. And all of this foul play narrative and stuff, not everything is foul play. Not everything is a murder. I learned that in the many years of doing this, in the classes that I took. I was told, not everything is going to be crazy. Do not let your mind run away. That is why I do not research stuff. People that research things get things in their mind, and you can't tell the difference between spirit and what you're being told. So it's very hard to do that if you are researching the case. So now I don't know how many more times I have to be accurate for people to start listening. And again, I'm not going to be accurate all the time. It's just my location is shaky, okay, as far as location. That's still something that I've been working on, and it's not easy. If anybody says that finding a body or something like that is easy, it is not easy. It literally takes hours on a map and feeling things that you feel and all of that. I knew I was on the right side of the road with Avocado, and I did go up to Pine a few times, but like I said, I didn't go on the map and keep looking on the map, because what was the point if no one's going to listen to me? I guess I could have called the police, but I figured going through the family, and cops don't listen to me. I don't know. It comes to the point where it's like you're hitting your head against the wall. And I've been talking about Jolissa for the past month because, yeah, I did. I said she went, off a curve and down the embankment, and I felt like the trees were stopping her from going into the river, which the river does run that way. So I'm curious, I need to really look at it and see if the river was still there. Embankment Cliff to me is the same. I felt like it was really steep and she was at the bottom. But I kept talking about a curve and a curve sign. So, again, you know, it's one of those things. I hate being right. I wish she was alive somewhere. Um, and the other thing is all this like information that's coming out that's wrong. Like, okay, well, her car was seen on CCTV coming back in. AWP put that out. That's not accurate, apparently. You know, obviously that's not accurate. And so that's like, you know, I get people argue with me about what I say, and please don't. I'm like, please don't do that, because I get everything for a reason, and I gotta stick with what I'm getting. Like, if people keep doing that, I will start to doubt. But this is like lessons for me too, like to just keep going with what I'm getting, because same thing with Kylie, and now there's a video of her car going into the water. More than likely, possibly, it's her. I mean, no one else went in the water, so it has to be her. So, you know, it's one of those things where I guess I'm just making this because I'm hopeful that people will start listening. And like I said, my location is shaky as far as location wise. Like, I can get you like in the area, but exact area, like exact location, is really hard. So, I mean, obviously the P was for Pine Flat, which is, you know, it wasn't a word, I understand, but still, I told them, I said, please, can you guys just like go and just like drive the road. Drive the road and see if you see any signs of an accident. Like, drive the road. I asked her cousin to please do that. And, you know, and then I saw posts where, you know, the family wasn't wanting anybody's help, blah, blah, blah. Regardless of what Jolissa was into, it had nothing to do with this. People can be into things in their lives. Mysterious things can happen around their lives. But then accidents happen. Like, accidents are probably just about as common as, well, I don't know. They're pretty common. I'll just say that. I don't know what the statistics are in accidents versus murder, because lately everybody's killing everybody and it's gone absolutely insane. Well, Dylan, okay, so Dylan, I actually have a kind of a location for him, but I keep meaning to put out his video and I just haven't done it yet. I'm not going to be listened on that either. The person that knows where I'm talking about, he's known for 2 weeks now and nothing's been done. So, I mean, I'm not going to always be right, like I said, and locations are super hard, and sometimes cases are harder than others. But when it comes to accidents, I think that this happened this way because I have not worked a lot of accidents, okay? I've worked a lot of murders and things like that, but I have not worked a lot of accidents, so it's almost like I took these cases as a teaching situation to teach me interconnects, because again, they all happened at the same time. They all interconnected due to timing. So I was getting 3 different accidents at one time in 1 week, and I had to figure out where they went. And they were random visions. That's how it started for me, was random visions. And the one thing about her car being stuck in the trees with water below it and by it, go back and look at my picture. Like, it's pretty darn accurate. The picture's pretty darn accurate. Which is kind of the same with Anaya. I drew a picture and the road looked just like it looked like when I, you know, what I was seeing. And we're not going to see everything, unfortunately. But this is why I couldn't connect more to her. Because again, like, I kept getting that she was ticked off and she wanted to hang out and she took off and she was mad, and she'd been to a party and she was probably smoking and she was probably driving really fast. Like, that's what came in the reading. And then it was like, hey Gonzo, good to see you too. We're just talking about how it's hard to get people to listen, and then, you know, there's so many psychics that said it was foul play, and then you had the ones that said it was accident, and it was kind of the same thing. And remember, it's all in how we perceive the information, right? They may have been perceiving it wrong, or they maybe knew too much about the case. I mean, I can only do what I can do, unfortunately. Oh, thank you, Tiger. That means so much. Honestly, it does. I am glad that they found her, and I can't remember if I said they were going to. I remember I knew that Kylie was going to be found, but I can't remember what I said in that reading, because it was like one of those readings where I put it out and I left it. I didn't keep going on the map or anything like that, because I didn't see the point. You know, I have other cases that I need to work, that I need to put information out. It takes a lot of energy to go on a map and feel pulls to different areas. And I had done all I could. I told the cousin exactly, where they needed to go look, what they needed to go look for. I went and took screenshots today just so I have that. And I mean, it's nothing against them. Maybe they couldn't get up there. Maybe, I don't know. But she came back telling me that, they thought that she was kidnapped and they thought that her car was being stopped, held somewhere. But the cousin was open because she said, hey, it would be better if she wasn't an accident than what we're thinking happened to her. And I'm like, yeah, well. So, unfortunately, it's a very sad situation. It's very sad that this happened to Jolissa. It's very sad that, all of this went down, unfortunately. A lot of times when people are missing with their cars, it is an accident. I mean, we're not learning that. Look how many cars the AWP finds in water, or how many cars are found with the person. It's not going to be 100% of the time, but it's a most of the time thing, right? And again, like, it's just one of those things where accidents happen. And I hate being right. I don't like being right. But it's just like, even though I don't like being right, it's still hopeful that someone will listen to what I'm saying, And that's why I put these out. It's nothing to do with ego. I keep my ego in check. I try to remain extremely humble that I can be. But it does get frustrating. It does get frustrating to know or see things, and, you're trying to help, and no one listens, and that's no different than people continue to push the Kylie narrative. That's not what I got. And I've got to go with what I got. And, like I said, now there's this video of her going into the water. Who else could it be? Thank you, Gonzo. That means a lot. Some cases are really hard. Like Suzanne, she's a little harder. Accidents are a little easier to find because you're looking for a car. And lately when I've gotten accidents in my reading, it's been obvious. But when someone else is involved in hiding a body, it's a little bit harder to find when there's so much land. So I appreciate it. I do. This is my passion. This is what I do, like 24/7. If it's not a case, it's giving a reading to someone. My work is very rewarding. It doesn't pay a lot, but it's very rewarding, and that's why I do it. So, but this is a couple times now. It's getting to where I don't know how many times I have to be accurate with stuff before people start listening to me, or start recognizing what I'm saying, or start following what I'm saying, or start subscribing. I kind of just like I don't know what it's gonna take. I don't know what it's gonna take. You guys don't know the frustrations that I have. You can ask Shazam. I get very frustrated with cases because it's like I know certain things, or I feel certain things, or I'm very positive about an area, but it's like I kind of get like, what am I gonna do with that? No different than, we're on this little boy, we're on little boy's case, we're on Quentin's case, and I don't know what to do with the information. Like, I'm afraid to call law enforcement because I don't know. I know they're not, I've called them multiple times and I just kind of get pushed to the side. But the reason why, like, I try to put this stuff out is because if people don't listen to me, such as law enforcement or family, that maybe other people will, people are going to get found in the time that they're meant to be found, and the way that they're meant to be found. Now, it is possible that that cop just had a hunch and was like, oh, I need to go check this area, or maybe something wasn't sitting right with him, because like I told the lady, I told her that, she wasn't going to be able to be spotted from the road. The helicopter was not going to see her because it's a 5% chance. It's very, very wooded out there. There's no way that she's going to be seen from the road or anything like that. Like, people had to get on foot or drive the road and see if they saw any indication of an accident, which even sometimes it can be a minuscule, thing. Like, you might not notice it. If she accelerated instead of hit the brakes, there might not be skid marks, right? So, oh, Tiger, you know, I love my gift, and sometimes I wish that it was stronger, so, you know, to help in instances like other places where I could, you know, find bodies easier. But at the same time, it's very frustrating. Like I said, it's very frustrating because people don't listen, and I don't know what else I have to do to get people to listen. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what else I have to do. Do I have to be on the news? Because I see a lot of these like channels, and they have these like, you know, 20,000 followers, 50,000 followers, and that's not what it's about. The only reason that I need more followers is, for one, it supports my work, and for two, more people see it, so therefore maybe it can help in some way, right? But you know, it's one of those things where it's like, I have been accurate so many times, but nobody's taking notice. And then so when I say something, like, nobody really listens. And I get like so frustrated. I get so frustrated. And we're talking hours that I spend on this stuff. Hours. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we would need subs to go look in areas. But at the same time, it's like, unless they're meant to find them, they won't find them. But still, you know what I mean? I felt really I never got anything else with Jolissa. Nothing else other than an accident. And it was one of those things, like, it was like, okay, I was positive that she was in an accident. She was down the embankment somewhere. There was nothing else that was coming through. Told her cousin that. I said, she's not been kidnapped, nothing. I said, the last place I saw her was in her car going down an embankment. That's where she's at. And it was a repetitive vision when I was on the phone with her, when I was like texting her, almost like telling me, yes, this is right, this is right, this is right. Get them to do something. But unfortunately, you know, I don't know whether they could go out there or not. And then, you know, it came out when the AWP was saying that her car was seen going back into the city. Obviously, I mean, I love AWP. This is not talking bad about them. I love what they do. Good for them. Kudos to them. Glad they're finding people. Yay. Glad people listen to them. All of that. But the last 2 times they've put out information, it's not been factual. It's coming out to not be factual. So I think maybe they need to double check their information before they start putting out extra information. That's just my opinion. I'm glad. I mean, I'm so glad that she was found for her family. And I said that, I mean, I think I said she was going to be found. I think I felt she was going to be found. But maybe that's why I didn't really push it. And, you know, everybody was messaging me like, go talk to Sarah Sage Spirits. Go do this, go do that. My videos were out there. If Sarah wanted to see my videos and see what I had to say, all she had to do was watch them. And they kind of had their mind set on, you know, somebody did something to her because of her life. And so it was one of those things, like, even if I told her that, she probably wasn't going to listen to me. But, and that's not saying anything bad about anybody, you know, that's not what this is about. I'm just saying, damn it! Sorry about the train. I guess this was a bad place to park, huh? Considering that they just had a train, like, I don't know, 30 minutes ago. They did find Jolissa, Texas. I apologize for the train, guys. They did find her. She was down in Embankment. I will find that image that I drew and post it. It is shown in my video, I believe I showed it, because I think I drew it, and then I think I showed it on the live. So it matches. The lake was off to the side, and I got her at the bottom in the trees. Like, it matched. I mean, I wish I was a better artist, because then it would have been able to you know, show. If I was a better artist, it would have been nicer. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm so sorry. They just went by. I didn't think they'd be going by again. But like I said, I kind of pulled over for an impromptu live in hopes that, I don't know, this live can get people to like go back and watch the reading and see that it was accurate and maybe start listening. Like I said, I'm not gonna be right all the time. I can only give you what I get. Like in Quentin, I think it's pretty accurate. And I guess we'll find out. I don't know what to do about that. I don't. Like Merced 4, it's nice when they say, oh, we're going to talk to psychics. Like, it's nice when they say stuff like that. Because, and then when you call, I get so nervous. I'm very shy, whether you would think so or not, when it comes to talking to authoritative figures. And I don't know how to tell them, look, this is what you're looking for, and not give them, I could give them a roundabout location, but we can get within miles, right? We can get pulled to an area within miles, because that's, like, where the energy was, or whatever. So I don't know. It sucks. It sucks. I'm glad she wasn't murdered and put somewhere like everybody was thinking, but I think all the psychics got the same area, or around about the same area, from what I understand. And there was card readers that said it was an accident. Her chart said it was an accident. And that kind of validated me, because I didn't know that till I did the reading, or it wasn't even a real reading. Like, I couldn't really connect with her that much. It was more like, you've already gotten what you need kind of thing. And that's why I think, like, I wanted to try to get more, but then I was like, there's not really a point. There's not really a point, because you don't have to find anybody that's involved in, like, I've been thinking about her so much lately, like, I kept thinking they were gonna see her car. And then she was found, but I wasn't sure, if she was going to be found or what was going to happen. But I'm definitely glad she was. I'm sorry that it's such a bad outcome, but unfortunately, I feel like she was alive for a little bit. And that's why I was like, she's in an accident. She's down this embankment. Like, you need to go check, because it kind of felt like, I don't know. Oh, maybe she wasn't. I don't know. It just felt very, the reason why I say that is because it felt very, like, pushy. Like, pushy with I was trying to be pushy with the cousin. So, I know, they wouldn't listen. Everybody wanted to think that it was a kidnapping and something had happened. Everybody wanted to think that. There's even readers that were focused on that. And that's why I say, I don't know anything. I try not to know anything when I'm doing a reading, because it can hinder what I get, right? Or what I think I'm getting. Right. It felt very pushy, so I don't know if that was because she was alive or at one point, but it feels very much like, because the way I was seeing it, if you guys remember, I felt like my car was wedged in between trees, and like I couldn't open this door right here. And maybe I was stuck or hurt too bad to even get to the other side, but I felt like even if I wanted to open this door right here, like my driver's side, I couldn't get it open. Like, there was a tree wedged right there. That's one thing that kept coming in, is I kept getting that there was like a tree, like she couldn't get out if she was still in the vehicle. I don't know. I'm not shown all the details as far as if she was maybe ejected or something like that, which I'm kind of getting maybe that's a possibility. But, and again, this isn't about ego. This is just trying to validate and point things out to people, so that maybe my subscribers will go up, so that maybe we can help more people, right? Because this is about this is about being a voice for the voiceless, okay? This is about doing what we can to help try to find people. Like I said, they're going to be found how they're meant to be found, and the timing they're meant to be found, and all of that. Like, we can't push that, but all we can do is try, because we don't know if we might be a part of them being found, So that's why I say, like my videos, subscribe, share, whatever, because it's important that we get the word out. You know what I mean? Like, that's what my mission is. My mission is about missing people and cases and things like that. Like, I decided to devote my life to this, And anytime I try to get away from this, I get brought back to this. So, like, anytime I try to get a job somewhere else or whatever, it's almost like I was put out in the country with no money, so I have to sit home and do this. you know? So I have to devote my life to this, even though I struggle constantly with, having to pay bills and all of that. So, Johnny, I am a believer of gift. Have been seeing a lot of your predictions being validated. Think you are great at what you do and don't let anyone pull you down or make you stop. Yeah, it's hard not to doubt yourself. But no, it's almost like Spirit is teaching me a lesson of listening to myself, because I was not wavering on, and I knew Kylie was in an accident too. Those two I wasn't wavering on. The Reno couple we didn't know was missing. I was trying to figure out where that fit, because we didn't know they were missing yet. If I would have known they were missing, because I even told Shazam, I was like, dude, this Reno couple's missing. They're just now saying that. I bet you anything that's the car down the embankment in the trees, right? Because that vision, and I tried to explain in my video, was different than the one I had for Jolissa. The one I had for Jolissa was her cars were stuck in the trees, and there was water in front of her, like a river, and there was water to the side of her that was either a lake or a pond. I couldn't tell. And so that was my vision, and that's why I drew it. It was something that was repetitive, and it was repetitive and repetitive and repetitive. And when I quit working the case and I quit talking to the family, the vision stopped. So I knew that's where it belonged. And everybody kept asking me to work it, and I'm like, I did. It's out there. So yes, unfortunately, there is no resting on the other side. But enjoy paradise, Jolissa. Very sorry that all of this happened. It is, but I don't have anybody in the area that can go look. Like, I just need someone to walk around and see if what I'm seeing is there, because it's hard. It's hard when I'm not in the area. Like, I have to, like, find what I'm seeing, right? So it's nice to have eyes in the area. I'm just going to say this. I'm going to say this right now for Dylan. I go to the back, and I get confused at what is Dylan's property and what is the grain shed and all of that. Like, I get confused on that area. All I know is I want to go to the back of where he was. There's a reference to his crops and all of that, so I feel like he's very close or on his property. There was a reference to wells, and I did get a reference to what is it called? Those 50-gallon what are those things called, Shazam? The 50-gallon barrels, okay, those barrels. And I found out that there is a barrel by a well, covered by a well out there. Now, I don't know if he's in the well or if it's just a reference point, because it could be a reference point. So that's one thing I want to put out, because no one's checking it out. And the family knows about the well. But all it would take is a camera down the well just to make sure, and then it might be a reference point to where he's at, right? Because that was too specific. The barrels are covering the damn well. Like, half of a barrel is covering the well. That's too specific, and I didn't know it was there, so it's got to mean something. I'm just going to put that out. I'll get his video out eventually, but it's like I got stuck on this baby Quentin, and I kind of had a dream about location with him. And you know where my dream took me? Back to that place that we were looking at last night with the what is that thing? The tall tower that we were looking at, like the cell tower. I had a dream, but my dreams are like weird, yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. You can't, like, there's people that research too much and then they do readings. And then there was one, like I was telling, I literally told Shazam this, because I saw people were saying that. And I told her, I said, Shazam, I said, just because she was into gang stuff, or her friends got killed and this happened in her family, blah, 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 does not mean that it wasn't an accident. People can have things going on in their lives, but it doesn't sometimes connect to how they pass away. So, again, I felt it was an accident. Like I said, I know how my interconnects work. So when Kylie and the Reno couple were in an accident, they were missing with their car. It made sense that Jolissa, who is also missing with her car, was also an accident. You know what I mean? Because all the visions kind of came, but they were like separate visions, but they all kind of came together. It was weird, and I figured it out. But it was one thing I wasn't swaying from. And when people ask me to do more readings, like, why? Because the information's already there. Just go watch what I already did. I was actually thinking about looking more into it, but there was no point. And I'm not saying that like was no point not to find her. It's just we don't have anybody that's gonna listen that it's an accident and that she's where, up where I'm saying. Because I said she was up where she was known, where she was last at. Which I think her phone only pinged at Avocado because the cell service is probably jacked up there. So that might be why she might have lost cell service. And that might be why she couldn't have called too, or her phone got messed up or died or something. But I try not to, I always tell people, like, if I never learned anything else from Lisa Williams in her class that I took, because I took a crime class, and it was just like a really short crime class, but I really wanted to take the deeper crime class where you work with police and everything like that. I really wanted to do that, but I couldn't afford it. But I went to her class, and the one thing I learned about her, because I noticed, like, before I kind of used to let my mind kind of run away a little bit, is that you have to keep your mind in check. You have to keep it in check when you're doing this, and you cannot let it run away. Like, she used to tell me not everything is, like, gang related or cartel related or murder or something like that. Sometimes things just as they are. Sometimes accidents happen. Sometimes people just walk off. Sometimes, things like that happen. So that's where my mind, that's kind of, and I think, again, why this happened is to teach me, like, what accidents feel like, what they look like when I do readings on them, because honestly, I haven't done a lot when it comes to cases. I haven't done a lot of ones where it's been accidents except for these. So, but I do want to thank you guys for your support. I do want to thank the people that have believed in me, that do listen to what I'm saying, and all of that. I do want to thank you guys so much for your likes, subscribes, for watching my videos, for helping me locate sometimes, for, just being here, for supporting, for your memberships, for any donations, for, the book that you read, for Patreon, for, any of that. I sincerely appreciate it. And we started putting regular readings on my channel in hopes that I could also kind of get people to believe that way, kind of like how Matt Frazier has done, by doing readings for people and showing the accuracy of it. We were hoping, and plus it's good to see that. It's nice to see those kind of readings, right? Not just crime all the time. So we kind of started doing that, and we're trying to make some tweaks and whatnot to where we're seeing how I work best. We're seeing how the best information comes, and we're seeing, kind of how we can grow the channel and like the way that I work the best, But it seems that I seem to work, and Spirit told me to do that. They told me to start doing live readings. And so, like I said, I'm not going to be perfect. I'm not going to always be right, but it's worth checking things out to see if I'm right or not, I think, in my opinion. This has taught me a lot. This has taught me a lot to listen to myself, like, in a major way, because there was times I started second guessing, like, well, maybe, but this one I was for sure, and it was like, nope, I'm not seeing, yes, thumbs up, thank you so much. It's like, I'm not seeing anybody around her. I'm just seeing in her car driving, like, same thing I saw with Kylie. So, I just unfortunately think she was in a spot where she was hard to find, like, she was hard to see. That's how it comes across, and that's how it always came across, like she was, like, literally down the bottom of a hill. No, I'm probably not. I'm actually on my way to my mom's right now. I didn't go on Sunday because she was sick and she was crying, so I was like, all right, Mom, I'll try to go Tuesday. So I'm probably not going to. I actually promised her I wouldn't be there late, but I had to stop and do this because my mind was like, woo, reeling, reeling, because it was like, I told you guys. It's one of those things where it's like, I hate to be right, but it's like, I told you guys, and I get so frustrated because it was like, even I guess she tried to tell the family, the cousin did or whatever, and the family wasn't listening. But I'm sorry, if someone came to me and told me my son was in an accident somewhere, goddamned, I don't care who it was, I'd be going to check. I'd be going to look down all those embankments and drive all those roads, but that's me. Some people aren't like that. They, I guess because of the coincidences around her, everybody thought it was nefarious, and I always felt it wasn't. I always felt it wasn't. Um, I don't know what I'm saying. Like, I would literally be driving that road like crazy, all the way up, all the way down, um, because sometimes searchers miss. They just do. I know, it's hard not to second guess, though. It really is. But it's been lessons to not second guess. I learned a lot. I learned a lot with the Merced. I've learned a lot lately. I learned a lot with Kylie. I learned a lot with Merced 4. I learned a lot with this case. It's like all these cases have been teaching me so much about my gifts, so much about location, so much about listening to myself and trusting what I get. It's Spirit's like teaching me as we're going along. So hopefully many of you stay on that journey and continue to learn with me as we try to, yeah, there might, and that's what Shazam kept saying, because I kept telling Shazam, like, she's in an accident somewhere, blah, 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 and Shazam's like, dude, unfortunately, their minds are made up that it was a kidnapping, because even when the cousin told her family, they were like, oh, well, we think her ex has her kidnapped somewhere, and his car's, like, in her garage, and I'm like, no, dude, no, that's not what happened, and so, unfortunately, when their minds are made up, that's just kind of how it has been. And it's almost like when I moved to here, everything, and I decided to devote my life and my time and everything to this work and to Spirit, I noticed that I think it was a shift in the energy as well. Like where I was at, I was very, I don't know, the energy wasn't good. So I was very blocked in different ways. And it's like, since I came out here and I really started working on this, and I like decided to devote myself, I just give it up to God all the time. I'm just like, you know what? Take me wherever you want me to go. I'll do whatever you want me to do, and we're going to end up wherever we're going to end up. That's what I say all the time. Because I used to like push it all the time, like, people need to listen to me. But then, and I start getting emotional because my work is very emotional to me. Because I work very hard at it, and it's something I spend a lot of hours on. It's something I spend, if I'm not messing with my animals or like chilling watching TV trying to relax, I'm working a case or doing a reading. That's just the way my life is. My mom's even wondering where I'm at right now. I told them to watch. You first posted a video of Jolissa. At first seemed interested, but then they said they wanted nothing to do with it, sadly. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I have screenshots where I talked to the cousin for like 30 minutes, 45 minutes. I explained everything I was seeing. I told her she needed to go drive up there and drive around and see if they could see anything off of a curve, near a body of water, down an embankment. Like, I told them everything I told you guys. Unfortunately, she was found because something made that cop go look. And I actually went on Judy's and I was like, dude, I got the same thing you got, but nobody's listening to me. And I commented on that. But, so yeah, I agree with that. Aligning with Kay didn't really say accident or not. Because I kind of watched her to see what she was getting. She didn't really say accident. I don't think she really said what happened. I know, like I said, the same area. They were all getting the same area. Or around the area up there. So that's why the area was right. It's just, I think... And I like aligning with Kay. I mean, me and her gets the same stuff a lot of the time. So, anyways. Well, thanks for hanging out with me for like 45 minutes while I just jabbered on. I just wanted to come on here, and I don't know why. I think just to point out, that it wasn't anything that was, she wasn't murdered. It wasn't gang related. It wasn't anything like that. I think I just wanted to come on here and say that. But like I said, I feel like I've grown a lot, and I will continue to grow. And I just trust Spirit, and I just tell Spirit, put me where you want me, have me do what you want me to do, show me what you need to show me, and I'll take it from there. I'll do the best that I can as a human. That's all we can do, right? I even cry when I get like when I get wish list gifts from you guys. Like seriously, it touches me so much when I get support from you guys. You guys have no idea. I agree. We do need a cop force for psychics. I actually have an idea for a nonprofit, but I have no idea how to start it. So it's one of those things where it's like I don't know how I would even start this nonprofit. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I know that, and that's why I was working so hard on that, and I just found him too late. That's all. Yeah, some cops, it just depends, you know. Um, so, yeah, I want to do a nonprofit where I have teams of good psychic mediums working with dogs, working with PIs, working with water searchers if we need to, working with, um, you know, searchers and equipment and everything that you need. That's what I want to do, because there's sometimes I'm really pulled to an area and we don't know if that's right, because we can't go check it. So it's like, at least if we had our own team, we could at least go check those areas and cross them off, be like, okay, that's cross off, you're filling that for a different reason, whatever. But we get pulled to areas for different reasons, and it's like, sometimes I can't leave a location, but I don't know if it's right, because I can't leave it, I'm obsessed with it. But I don't know how to start a nonprofit. So I mean, I do, but I don't have like a full team. And then I'm not great with the paperwork and stuff. Like, I really need to figure out how to do that. That's been my dream for the last 10 years since I started doing this. It's one thing that I don't really know how to do. So, I'm just not good with things like that. So thankfully Jolissa was found. Unfortunately, it wasn't good circumstances. Yeah. Thank you. I've been thinking about her for the last couple of weeks, and maybe it was because she was going to be found, but there's something that urged that cop to do that, and I'm wondering if it wasn't Jolissa. It was either Jolissa or it was he did go and listen to psychics, because there was some that was saying it was an accident. So it's very possible that he like had like a hunch or an inkling, or you know what I mean, like sometimes we get those intuitive feels. It's almost like he had, like, if, let me tell you this, if I was still in California, I would have been up there already. And I was the same with Merced Fort. If I was in California, I would have driven up there. I don't even care if it was night. I would have driven up there. That's just how I am, because I've went over to the desert multiple times. I've went to areas, just no one really knows. So, yep, gotta follow your gut. So, that's true. Well, thank you guys again for liking, subscribing, sharing, being a part of this community. We don't have drama here. We are about the right reasons. And like I said, I leave my ego where it belongs. This isn't about that. It's just kind of like, I hate saying I told you so. I hate saying that. But in this case, and I usually don't say that, but in this case, it feels right to say. Because it just feels right to say, because I was so adamant about it and no one listened to me. So, I told you so. No. She's like, say it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is like, in this situation, that's what it feels like I need to say. So, and you know, I'm sorry, and I'm sad that the family wouldn't listen. There's a damn thing again. Sorry about the thing. Yeah, I don't know if Aligning with Kate did it. I only watched half of hers. I know she got the same area, but like I said, me and her get a lot of the same stuff. So if you watch her, like, if I'm done with the case, I'll go and watch and see if we get the same thing, and we do. We get basically the same stuff. So, I mean, she's legit. She's legit. I do have to say that. She's legit, and we do get similar things. Yes, very much so. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, like I said, I went on Judy's and I told Judy, like, I got the same thing as you. And I think that's why Judy started following me or coming to my, like, I think that's why she subscribed, because I was commenting on there and I was being like, you know, Yep, I was getting the curve sign. Which is I'm wondering about the deer with her, because it could fit her. It really could. Oh, cool. You want to send that to me? Otherwise I'll have to go find it. I'll probably post it again. Because I did post it on my community page as well as put it in the live. And I sent it to the cousin. The cousin had it as well. So, there's that. But, anyways, and this is not talking like bad about anything. I understand, or anybody. I understand it's hard to follow what a psychic medium says. I understand that. Like, I get that. But when you have a shot in the dark and you have no other leads, it's absolutely not going to hurt you to check things out. It doesn't. I mean, they're wasting all these resources checking other areas. Why not just check where someone says, right? So that's my opinion on it. But again, thank you guys. I guess I should get to my mom's. I would have been there an hour ago, but yeah, I've been up since 9. I was trying to get there early and then this happened. So I didn't want to be rude to her, so I was like, I'll pull over and do it. But my mind was reeling. I had to talk about it. I just had to talk about it. I just had to talk about it because no one listened to me, and then it was like, well, there it is. So thank you for letting me talk about it. I will see you guys soon. Thank you again for your support. If I can figure out how to. Yes, hi. Hi, Scout. You almost missed me. Well, some LE listens because there's like intuitive, like in psychic investigator, psychic detective, sensing murder, all of that. But they still need the evidence to go along with it, So there's that. They do work. Some of them do work with psychics, but they've proven themselves. I don't know how else to prove myself. So. Hey, good to see you guys. I'll see you guys later. My mom's gonna kill me.